What's going on, guys? It's the Filthy Casual, back with another video. Today I feel the need for speed. This is a 300% plus move speed Necromancer. It's really quick for farming keys, it's really quick for farming low GRs. You can't quite get it up to T16, probably without quite a lot of augmentation or paragon, but it'll certainly do GR70 in pretty much 2 minutes flat. Get a good map, it'll maybe be a little quicker than that. Get a bad map, okay, maybe it's going to be a little bit closer to 3 minutes, but it is really nice, really brainless to play, really easy. Now before we jump in and I'll show you the build, I just want to say welcome to anybody who's subscribed recently. If you like to upload content, build guides, news, discussion, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. So we're going to jump in and deal with the gear first. It is an Ananias build, so we're going to be taking all 6 pieces. So this was the starting set for the season, so hopefully speaking you're familiar with it, but in essence we get an extra 2% damage reduction on bone armor. So we're going to be taking bone armor, which we have to for the set. Once we hit with this, we get a swirling tornado of bone, but we also get 3% damage reduction per enemy hit up to 10 enemies, so 30%, but because of the Ananias 4-piece we get 5% damage reduction per enemy hit, so 50% damage reduction. But we're also going to be taking the Wisdom of Cologne, so we're going to get another 5 bone armor stacks, so that is 15 stacks times by 5% damage reduction, so we're going to get a 75% damage reduction just from having the set on, which is really nice, really handy. Whilst we're on damage reduction, we're also going to be taking a Dainty's Binding. That's going to give us another 50% DR, and that's because we have Aura of Frailty on the bar, so there will always be a cursed enemy next to us, and that's another layer of damage reduction, so that covers that. So the 6-piece Ananias gives us this tornado of bone as we talked about. Basically it's going to hit for 1000% weapon damage, and it's also going to give us 10,000% extra damage, and as per your normal Lazy Mancer types things, we're going to be taking Pain Enhancer, so that every time we crit we're going to cause the enemy to bleed for weapon damages physical over 3 seconds, plus any enemy that we get bleeding is going to give us an increased attack speed for 3%. We're also going to be taking the Gem of Vicious Toxin, so this again is going to give us a poison on hit effect, so weapon damage as poison over 10 seconds. We're also going to get 10% damage increase and a 10% damage reduction, so really nice. We're going to be taking the Wreath of Lightning, so this again on hit, 15% chance on hit to enter the Wreath of Lightning effect and get move speed and also deal damage over 3 seconds. So the idea is that you activate the bone armor, that will get your tornado up, you then tag enemies with it, and these dots just passively kill stuff. So the lightning fires out and kills stuff, poison on hit kills stuff, and pain enhancer crits, makes your attack speed quicker, makes you hit things quicker, and your bone nado just goes round and round quicker and quicker. Now multiplier wise, we're going to be taking a Trigul's Corroded Fang, up to 200% extra damage against cursed enemies. As we said, we've got Aura of Frailty, and it's a close range build, so we're always going to be getting that multiplier from the Trigul's Corroded Fang, so that's really nice. We're also going to be taking Vrylina's Shadow Hook, so an extra 0.5% damage per point of essence. So I've got 310 essence, so you can get more, you can get another 20 I think, so you know, decent 150 extra percent damage there. Now we're also going to be taking Convention of Elements. This is going to give us 200% increased damage for our elemental rotations, and the 2 rotations we're going to be using to deal damage will be for physical on the Pain Enhancer and also for poison on the Toxin, and one of our other attacks is also going to benefit from poison. We'll get to that with the skills. Now we're also going to be taking Crispins. This will give us up to double damage against slowed enemies. We're going to proc that occasionally, not all the time because we've got no Bane of the Trapped, but we will proc it occasionally. But we're going to get the triple effect up really when we need it, and quite a lot of the time again by one of the skills. So that's another multiplier that we've got. So I think what we'll do is we'll round out the rest of the gear and then we'll jump into the skills. So for your offhand, you want lost time, we're going to be making use of the move speed buff. So the cold skills reduce the move speed by 30%, so that's how we initially proc our Crispins. The slow effect, because we're going to be taking the cold rune on bone armor, Harvest of Anguish. So this stacks up to 15 times, so that's 15% move speed from that once we get it up to 15 stacks, and it helps us with the Crispins. But the secondary and lost time also gives us up to 10% additional move speed. when we use a cold skill, stacking up to 5 times, so that's up to 50% move speed. So provided we hit something with the bone armor, we're going to get a nice 50% move speed from that. Now that just leaves the Nemesis braces, so this is just here for extra progression. Elemental skill, I'd pick either physical or poison, either one of those is fine, but you want to make sure you get crit hit chance on there, because obviously we want to be critting for our bone armor. So in the cube we also have the Steward's Greaves, double move speed once we blood rush, so an extra 100%, so that's really nice. So we're obviously going to have blood rush on the bar. And then the Raquel's Ring of Larceny, this is going to be a 60% move speed whenever we fear stuff. So really we've got quite a lot of move speed in the build, and this is one of the more important items. So we just look at the skills and run through them. We're going to have Bone Spirit Panic Attack. Now this hits like an absolute truck, because you get 4000% weapon damage as poison on impact, which is really nice considering all the multipliers that we've got, you know, the 10,000 Ananias, the COE, the Trags and the Shadow Hook. But importantly, it also has this kind of like area of effect fear, so anything within 10 yards is going to be feared for 2 seconds when the Bone Spirit detonates. Now, importantly, this also applies to the target hit, so anything that you hit with the Bone Spirit and within 10 yards is feared. You will be able to run up to it and catch it really quickly, and it will then take treble Crispin's damage as well as the 4000% hitting like a truck. Like literally this just deletes stuff. Now you get 3 charges, and you get a charge every 15 seconds, but importantly, consuming a corpse will reduce the charges by 1 second. So if you consume 10 corpses really quickly, you get 10 seconds off your next charge, and it does come back pretty quick. So you know, you do get to fire these out pretty often. Aura of Frailty we've discussed, that's just going to be the curse for the damage reduction and also for the Tragul's Corroded Fang. We're going to be taking Devour Satiated. This is going to be numb locked, so we'll be consuming corpses constantly. So once we kill things, we consume corpses. This reduces the Bone Spirit charge duration, so that's how we get that back. And then the Satiated also buffs us up for toughness quite a lot, because we get 2% max life, so that gives us a nice toughness boost as well. Bone armor we have to have for the Ananias set, and we're going for the cold, as we say, just to get the extra move speed from this and also to proc the lost time. Blood Rush Potency, this is just more move speed, because once we teleport we get the Steward's Greaves bonus. We also get increased armor, which is really nice. And then Land of the Dead Frozen Lands, this is literally for only the start of the rift to freeze everything, and it will allow us to get the 15 bone armor stacks up, because we will get flattened without them. And it's also there for the Rift Guardian, because once you pop it you can use as many bone spirits as you want, because with your Devour being numb locked you consume corpses super quick, and it just means that you can just click and spam your bone spirit and really dump quite a lot of damage on the Rift Guardian when it's frozen. So use it at the start of the rift to stop yourself from dying, use it at the end of the rift for the Guardian, and then realistically you're probably not going to get a chance to press it again anyway, because your rift will be over pretty quickly. But the only time I'd ever other press it would be if you get a channeling pylon and you know that it's going to come back as soon as you click that pylon. So that would be the only times that I'd use it. Passives wise, Dark Reaping, we've got no spender so we don't need the essence, but 2% life per kill is handy, because what this does is it means that as we increase our life with Devour, then we can top up our life with Dark Reaping by melting trash. Overwhelming Essence is just more damage with the Shadow Hook, 40 points more essence is 20% more damage. Standalone, we've got no pets, so we may as well take the extra 100% armor. Pairs really well with potency, so it makes us considerably tougher. And then Fueled by Death, more move speed, so we get up to 30% move speed, 3% per corpse for 5 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. And because we've got Devour numb locked, we're always going to be consuming corpses, so we're always going to have that up. So for move speed we've got quite a lot. We've got 25% from Paragon, we get 100% from the Steward's Greaves, we're going to get 60% from the Ring of Larceny, we're going to be getting 25% from the Wreath of Lightning, we're going to get 50% from the Lost Time, we're going to get 15% from Bone Armor, and then we're going to get finally 30% Fueled from Death. So that's quite a lot. Now you can make a few swaps to the build if you want to, so you could try Krelms and get another 25%. The only problem with this is the effect is lost for 5 seconds after you take damage, and as you're a close range build you're constantly running through stuff, but it would help for areas of the map where there's not perhaps great density or moving from one area to another. But I tend to find the dainties is better. You're also going to be ditching 50% damage reduction, so you're going to struggle to survive. If you want to make the build a little tougher and go up a few levels, you can certainly swap in a unity, so you can take out the Ring of Larceny, drop 60% move speed and double your toughness. You just need to make sure your follower also has a unity and the token that renders them invulnerable. And then the last swap potentially is Bane of the Trapped, and that will go in place of the Wreath of Lightning, and what it does is it just allows you to proc that first part of Crispin's and get the 100% damage on everything, and you also get this 40-50% extra damage from the slow. Now obviously if you do put it in, you're sacrificing 25% move speed and you're sacrificing the damage that the Wreath of Lightning causes. So I personally like it with it in. This is what takes it over 300% move speed, but by all means you can certainly play around with that. Now, if you want to just do keys, let's say you don't want to do GRs, obviously you would take off your Dainty's Binding and put a gold wrap, and you would take out your Wreath of Lightning and you would put in a Boon of the Hoarder. So you get 30% move speed from the Boon of the Hoarder, but you'd lose the lightning damage, so a little bit quicker, and you're definitely going to be invulnerable, but you're also going to lose the damage from that. So a bit of a trade-off, but you can certainly do keys with it that way, and it just means you can stand on explosions. In terms of gems, obviously you want intelligence gems in your pants and in your chest. Cooldown doesn't really benefit us. I mean, in theory, more cooldown would be better for more Land of the Dead, more bone armor, more bone spirit, but I find that you don't need to gear for cooldown at all, so I'm quite happy with a life gem in the helm. As for Paragon, I'd say you want to get your move speed up to 25%, maximum essence, and then dump everything into intelligence. For your offense, you want critic chance, critic damage, attack speed, cooldown reduction. For defense, you're going to go armor, life percent, all res, life regen, and utility, area damage, life per hit, and then the other two don't really matter. In terms of stats wise, I've got a fair few augments on here, just because, I thought I'd augment this setup because I'm a bit crazy. But yeah, I've got sheet damage of 1.6 million, just over 13,500 main stat, and then for my critic chance, I've got 55.5%. And yeah, not much cooldown reduction, 20% as you can see. Now in terms of playstyle, what you want to do is as soon as you jump into the rift, you want to activate your Land of the Dead. You then, when you get to a nice juicy group of enemies, you want to hit bone armor. Now this is on a 10-second cooldown, so you really want to be activating Land of the Dead, striking with bone armor pretty much straight away, as this will last for 10 seconds, and you're going to be roughly on about 8 seconds for your bone armor coming back, so that will allow you a second application of it before the screen unfreezes. Those two applications should get you enough stacks that you will not be one shot by anything, and then you're good to go. Bear in mind, once you do activate Land of the Dead, you can spam Bone Spirit as much as possible, but other than that, you're just looking to just cast one of these every few seconds, get your move speed up, Wreath of Lightning procs, teleport as much as you can just to get your Stewart's Greaves, and you literally just absolutely razz around really quickly. If you get a speed pile on it, it's quite funny, you move just so quickly, it's ridiculous. And obviously power, channelings, grace, any type of pile on, you'll just be absolutely really good. So another advantage of the build, obviously because it's so quick, you're going to get loads of gear, so you're going to get extra primals because you'll be farming up these items so quickly. And as I say, keys, a bit of paragon leveling, it's quite fun, I quite like it. As I say, probably not meta. So guys, that's the build. I hope you like it. Thanks very much for sticking around. I will leave you with a really quick 2-minute rift clear, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.